Talk Phillies baseball, Mike. At the end of the season, I thought the Phillies were in great shape, sweeping the Braves. I thought it was neat to knock them out, and they had some momentum going into the playoffs. But that last win against the Braves hurt the Phillies in a way because it got them St. Louis as opposed to getting Arizona potentially as a playoff matchup. Scary matchup because St. Louis has a lot of veteran players that have been to the postseason before. Roy Halladay wins Game 1. Great game for the Phillies. I think they're in great shape with Cliff Lee. Now he loses. It's 1-1, and I'm a little bit worried.
Well, the Cardinals are a legitimate opponent. There's no question about that. But the Phillies are the better team. If the better team wins, the Phillies will win. That's just the reality. But it's the nature of this sport. All sports, all pro sports, the regular season is a different animal than the playoffs. But it's almost absurdly so, almost unfairly so in baseball. The Phillies spent 6 months, all the time and resources they spent putting this roster together, 6 months establishing themselves as the best team in baseball, and now it's gone. It's not like potentially gone. It's gone. They're in a best-of-5 series. 2 of the 3 are going to be in St. Louis, and Halladay and Lee are potentially done for the year. Maybe they want to pitch Halladay in Game 4 on 3 days rest, but then he's not Halladay.
And he's never done that before.
Yeah, and you've got I don't think they're going to do that. You've got Oswald, and you've got Game 5 in Philadelphia, but I still think they're going to win the series. I still like Cole Hamels. I have no problem with Cole Hamels as a big game pitcher in terms of mental toughness or any of that kind of stuff, but it's just amazing to me how 6 months can be destroyed in a couple of hours, which really is like the Phillies had to sweep in order to sort of keep the edge that they built up over 6 months. It's an odd thing, and it's no different. It's the same for everybody, but it almost seems absurd to me how unfair it is.
I got to give you credit. First of all, you had them with 100 wins, and your predictions at the beginning of the year 162. They finished 102 and 60, so actually, you were pretty darn close. You win 102 games, the best Phillies have ever done, best record in baseball, and yet it comes down to a 5-game series, best of 3, and now advantage Cardinals.
Yeah, it really is. I don't think there's any question about it. And the guy that they're pitching tonight, Tuesday, we're doing this on Tuesday, is a tough left-hander who has a good history against the Phillies. So they're in a tough spot, and I still think they're going to win, and I still believe in their team. I think they have the best team in baseball. I think they had the best team in baseball last year too, and they did not win the NLCS against the Giants, and the Giants went on to win it all.
Do you know one of the things that in Game 1 and Game 2 of this series with the Cardinals they did well was they made the pitchers work and they got themselves on base. Later in Game 2, when it became 4-4, Phillies bats went silent. Well, they weren't. I don't think they were working the counts, making these pitchers work. The Cardinals don't have a great bullpen. They probably threw out their best 2 at the beginning of that. After they get knocked out, Carpenter.
Yeah.
And yet the Phillies didn't make them work hard enough and really get the guys on base and make the Cardinals make challenging pitches. And that happened last year against the Giants, where they really weren't working the counts, I felt, effectively. So I'm curious to see what the Phillies offense sort of shut down after the 4th inning in Game 2 on Sunday. I'm curious to see if they start being patient at the plate and working these counts again.
The changes that they made in the batting order, I think, are positive. I like their batting order now with Pence batting third. Utley can sort of, just moving one spot in the batting order from third to second, he can sort of be more of a table setter now. And you noticed in Game 2, he really walked 3 times, but he got a horrendous call on a 3-2 pitch and got hit by a pitch. So he really was almost 4 for 4 getting on base. And Pence in that 3-hole makes sense. Victor Reno batting behind Howard is okay. It splits up the lefties. I mean, I like their batting order. I like everything about it, but they lose a game and all of a sudden it's angst time, and that's just the nature of this sport.